I searched online for games like Other Wilds, and let me tell you something, there aren't any games like Other Wilds. Other Wilds focuses on exploration and curiosity. The player is driven by the interesting elements and the beautiful atmosphere the game has to offer. Finding suitable games for this list was quite difficult, but I did my best. Quick side note, I stayed surface level for each of these games. I don't want to give the mystery away. Actually, the first thing you can do is just play the Other Wilds DLC named Echoes of the Eye. I didn't have the time to play it for myself, but reading some comments online, it's a nice game to close out the whole story the main game has to offer. It's not that you play an optional second game with a completely different story. So with the DLC out of the way, the first game I have for you is Dredge, a game where you play as a fisherman, you catch different kinds of fish, find loot from time to time, and pay a debt you have to the mayor of the town. Don't let this fool you, this is still a mystery game, and it is a damn good one. The fish catching mechanics are pretty simple, but it feels well integrated in the environment. Start by finding a suitable fishing spot. You can clearly see fish floundering in the ocean. You do a circular timing event, and if you catch the fish by clicking at the right time, you place that fish in your cargo and off you go. Quick side note, don't ram your boat into rocks, because you pay the damage you made. You have no insurance. And get enough sleep. Strange things can happen when a man has no sleep. Sailing your boat through the open waters feel pretty smooth, and I can ramble on, but it's better you try the game out for yourself. This game is pretty new and it's one I really liked playing. It's Blueprints, a room drafting mystery game where you try to find the secret 46th room. You can inherit the whole mansion of your grandfather if you find out the secrets that lay inside. Wait, room drafting you say? Yes, room drafting. Before you open the door, the first thing you do is select one room from 3 different options. Each room has something unique to offer, for example a puzzle, keys, money, or even food to regenerate your steps. There are also unique items that give you benefits along the way. Also look out for the red rooms. These always bring a bad side effect with them. You start your day with 50 steps. Each time you enter a room, you pay 1 step. But watch out, if you go back to a room you already opened, you also pay 1 step. So choose wisely. If you go too far and you can't unlock any more doors, you probably pay like 10 steps to go back to the other side of the map. If you run out of steps, your day is over and start a new one. You get a total of 4 days to crack the game. The further you go, the more resources you need. Okay, let's take a step back. Pun not intended, by the way. What's so mysterious about the game? Well, there are hidden notes, passages, and objects all over the rooms that you as a player can discover. So try to reach the 46th room and let me know what you find. It's up to you. What Remains of Edith Finch is a good example of a story-driven game. Playing the game, you quickly get attached to the story Edith is telling you. You get inside Edith's family home and see through the eyes of every one of the family members and what happened to all of them. One of the developers mentioned that all of the stories have different kind of mechanics, so no mechanic is the same. Playing all these different unique parts and the integrated text you can find in the big house while walking really binds you to Edith Finch's story. Take up your book and fill in the family tree to find out what happened to everyone. If you like a good mystery game where the story is the main focus of the game, you should pick up What Remains of Edith Finch. One Distant Island, One Tangle Tower, also the title of the game by the way, and One Murder. This is the story of the family Fellow, Remington and Pointer, with Freya Fellow's outline and blood on the floor and the only witness to the crime not saying anything. It's up to you to crack the case in this detective mystery game. You play as Detective Grimoire. With your trusted partner Sally, you interrogate all members living in Tangle Tower, how their lives are going, how their relations are with each other, and when you're far enough, you can try to push your suspects for a motive. To do so, you have to select objects and sentences to get a correct statement. So I had 2 little problems with the game. The first one is that when I made a correct observation, there wasn't really a chance to put that observation into the game. I just needed to talk to the correct people to see if this observation was correct or not. And that was a bit frustrating. The second problem is that the end of the game wasn't really what I hoped it would be. You come like to a final big conclusion and it was really hard to understand the motive. Maybe I'm not really that smart enough to understand the motive, but yeah, that's how I felt. But overall, the game was quite nice. The story isn't really all that dramatic. Some of these voice lines are just so funny.
Oh.
What?
Oh, there's an O on the floor.
Oh yeah. Tangle Tower.
So if you're up to it, explore this fairy tale-like game with unique characters, nice voice acting and neat animations. Next up is the Forgotten City. This game started out as a Skyrim mod, and the creator of the game made it into a fully fledged game, even dropping his job as a lawyer to start his journey. Back to the game. You start by searching for an old hidden Roman city, but accidentally find yourself stuck in a lively city of 28 people via a portal, all trying to live together with one golden rule.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Whenever any of the citizens commit a sin, all of the inhabitants die by being transformed into golden statues. You'll see other golden statues come to life and shoot the citizens with golden arrows. The only thing you can do is run as soon as possible to the portal and start the story over from the beginning. And yes, you guessed it, you're in a time loop. Figure out what everyone in the city is up to and unravel the reason everyone is stuck in the city. The facial expressions can feel a bit uncanny from time to time, and there is a small amount of action, but if you follow the story and help all the citizens with their problems, the game feels really satisfying. If you like time loops like in Other Wilds, you can try the Forgotten City. Set in an early Renaissance period around the 15th-16th century, Pentiment is a 2D narrative RPG where you play as Andreas Mahler, an artist who already went to different cities in Europe. You can fill in your past deeds how you like. It's an RPG after all. I'm gonna be honest, this is not my kind of game. It has rich story elements and great writing, but to complete just the main game you need a whopping 15 hours. The reason is that I'm not really a big fan of games with a long big storyline and a lot of text to read. But I'm not gonna degrade the game because I don't like it. Going off on other people's comments, the game actually has a lot of content. You have murders, you have suspicious people, so if you like the setting, just give the game a try, see where the game brings you. If you love caring for plants and like to listen to juicy secrets the people of the neighboring towns and cities are telling you, you will find your match in Strange Horticulture. You can categorize it as a mysterious cozy game with dark undertones. Take on the role as a florist and give your customers different kind of plants with all sorts of effects. When a customer enters your shop, you get hints on how the plants looks like and you have to match them with the ones in your book. When your decisions have positive effects, you get new plants in your shop you can sell to the customers. Some plants let your customers sleep better, others cure sickness, or some have even more gruesome objectives. Part of the game involves selecting locations on the map where, for example, rare plants can be found. It's also fun to use the map to follow the story better. You can look up where your customers are coming from or which towns are cursed or haunted. Start each day by receiving your mail and unravel this mysterious story about covens and occults. That's all I can really say about the game. Again, you have to play the game for yourself if you want to know more about the story in Strange Horticulture. So this is my list of 7 mystery games like Other Wilds. Like I said, it's not easy to find suitable games that are like Other Wilds. I try to not give away too much of the game so you get a fresh start. By the way, if you like mystery games, maybe you also like detective games. Here are 7 smaller detective games like Disco Elysium. Enjoy! Until next time.